If we are to change zoning, it's done in a comprehensive, thoughtful way. The Trackside proposal was for a fairly tall 6-story building in a neighborhood of 1- and 2-story buildings. And the current zoning for that parcel is 3 stories. And so I don't believe that we have this sort of binary choice, which is do nothing or accept 6 stories. It's currently a 1-story, the building there is 1 story. If you went from 1 story to 3 stories, as it's currently zoned, you would be increasing density, you would be doing infill, there would be a bunch of positive benefits, and it would be less impactful to the current neighbors. So I think it is important not just to sort of ignore the zoning. I think the zoning is a good signal to the community as to what we think is appropriate, and it's meant to be done in a thoughtful, comprehensive manner. So one of the things I've had kind of a problem with is how a lot of the proposals come to us are sort of these one-off individual sorts of asks, and we're asked to change the zoning on a specific parcel. I think the much better approach is to look and over time, since the general plan, how have things changed? Should heights be different or should they not be different? And if we do want to go up, where should that be? I personally think the downtown could be, we could have more 3-story and 4-story buildings. When I say 4 stories, I mean something about the height of the Chen building. To me, that's kind of a good kind of reference point. And does that mean I want everything to be 3 stories and 4 stories? Absolutely not. But I think what we don't want is this notion of, oh, we're going to do 7 or 8, or it has to be exactly as is. Right now, we're being told that we need more expansion space for our businesses, and this is what's driving sort of the Mace Innovation Center. Well, one of the things that I think the residents are rightfully skeptical or suspicious of is sort of promises of developers. And I think people instinctually, and also from practical experience, know that when a lot of these benefits accrue, they apply to the developer, not necessarily the community. So we had the cannery development. I believe that ConAgro walked away with big bags of money and went off to their headquarters and left the citizens of Davis just to deal with the current cannery project. If the city actually owned the parcel that an innovation park was suggested to be on, we would control it. And any benefits that accrued would go to the citizens of Davis. The way it is now is we have private landowners who come before the council and will eventually perhaps go before the voters, and they ask us to change the designation of the land from ag to residential or ag towards commercial, and there is a vast increase in the value of that property with the change of the zoning designation. That increase in value goes to the developer. Whereas if the city had that parcel, and the city is not exempt from Measure JR, if the city went and said, hey, should we change the zoning of this from ag to commercial? When that land value goes up, that's part of the city, and it benefits all the community. It benefits everyone who lives here in terms of the increase in value. And the city is the one in the driver's seat, so when the developer starts to tilt off in a direction that we don't like, we have full control. A lot of my concern about the presently proposed Mace Ranch Innovation Center has to do with not knowing how things are going to unfold over the next 10 to 20 years. And if the city had actually owned that parcel, we would do what, I would hope that we would do what we think is best for the community, and the community would share in the increased value and the benefits from having businesses located in Davis directly, rather than indirectly or being predicated on us writing a real rock-solid developer agreement. So, right now you have to write an excellent developer agreement to anticipate what might happen 10 to 20 years down the line, whereas if the city owns the parcel, hey, we're in control.